Yin turned around. She couldn't be bothered telling him this information yet. Worry him or confess? She just wasn't ready. As she started to walk away, she heard a faint voice behind her call out, Yin. Turning around, she met the eyes of her best friend. Sighing as she was caught, took to a seat next to him. Todoroki and Yin were sat down on a small bench. He reached out his hand to hers and squeezed it gently, as if it were cold. She couldn't help but smile a little. Just a bit. She still couldn't shake this feeling off her chest. She sighed heavily and slowly rested her head on his shoulder. I miss my best friend, she muttered softly, and he let out a low, husky chuckle and played with her hair softly. I've missed you too. I stopped by your house, but no one was home, he muttered, and kept me close. My cheeks flushed. He reached into his bag and pulled out a warm container. It was the soup he promised. Yin just smiled at him and gently took it from him, placing it next to her on the bench. I had to go somewhere with my parents. She looked into his different eyes as she made a light excuse. Oh, how she would love to look at his eyes all day long. He noticed she was staring and laughed again. Come on, I'll walk you home, he said to the flushed girl as he slowly got up, reaching his hand out for the girl so she could take it happily as he helped her up. She grabbed the container of food as they started to walk. They started their journey to Yin's house, and she was smiling the whole time there. Her hand wrapped with his as the other container was carried in the other. As they reached the front steps of her house, she turned to look at him. If he wasn't the perfect time, was it? She started to speak. Shoto, her voice being cut off by his phone ringing. Looking at the contacts, her heart shuddered as it read, Momo. Todoroki looked at his phone a bit nervous. Wait here, all right? He muttered as he walked across the street to take the call. Why is he being so secretive? Yin thought to herself. He didn't have to be that extra to go across the street. Her heart sank as she watched him slowly, softly, before a bullying feeling she's kept to accept started to come up to her chest again. She ran into her house, into the sink as she coughed up another rose, with blood splattered across it. She fought back her tears as she tried to clean it up, but all she could think was about Todoroki, who was just outside, thinking to the one he truly wanted to be with. Or at least, that's what she thought. She cleaned up the blood with the flowers as she decided to text Katsuki and Mina. She opened up their group chat that didn't have Todoroki in it, mainly because it was for Yin's crush on the said boy. User. Guys, I have something important to tell you. Wifey. What's up? Is everything okay? Hothead. This better be important. User. I have Hanahaki. I have a month to live and tell Shoto my true feelings. Wifey. Wait, what? Yin, this is serious. Hot-headed. That sounds extremely fake. You're not funny, Yin. User. I'm sorry I have to let you guys down. Unfortunately, I'm being 100% serious. I need your support, Katsuki. It's not just a joke. As Yin continued to text her friends, even going as so far as showing them the papers she received from the doctor, she finally convinced them she wasn't just playing some sick joke. They tried to tell Yin to confess her feelings, but she still had time. She just needed to know how much he felt about Momo. Looking out her window, she saw him still across the street. She exited the front door and walked to him. "Shoto," she called out to him, and he hung up the phone shortly after, walking to her as he raised an eyebrow. "Is everything all right?" She shook her head as tears threatened to fall out from her eyes. He quickly noticed and embraced her into a tight hug. She sobbed as soon as her face made contact with his chest. "I'm going to die, Shoto," she mumbled into his chest. He slowly pushed her back, grabbing her by her shoulders and looking down at the tear-eyed girl. Why are you saying that?" He was concerned for her and the way she was acting. She wiped her eyes and smiled nervously at him. It's a disease," she tells him, trying to stop herself from crying in front of him. He stopped and looked at her. "What disease?" Yin looked down at her feet. "I can't tell you. Just please. I just need a hug." She pleaded out for him, and he wrapped his arms around the girl safely as he reassured her. "You'll be okay. I promise, Yin." She smiled at his lies and nodded, just wanting to be happy in the moment. After a minute or so of calming down in his chest, it had gone pretty dark outside, and she sighed. "I'm sorry for keeping you out this late. Good night, Shoto," she said, unwrapping her arms from the boy. He could only stare with a frown and gave a small wave as she crossed the street back to her house. He stood there, rethinking about her words. Mina Arkatsuki has to know about this. He mumbled to himself as he walked away before stopping and taking a glance back at the house. "Good night, Yin." He then made his way back to his own home.